Hello. Look at all these faces. Good to see you. Lauren K, Jeff Arrogant in the house, Rajashree.
Wow, that's nice.
Old tried and true.
The extra long hair.
With his extra long hair. You need a ponytail holder like we do now, Jeff, when you do your yoga.
Uh-oh, that's going to be a new experience. First time in my life.
Oh my God. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you, Raj?
Good. Donna, do you remember Jeff?
Which Jeff?
Jeff Arrogant.
Jeff who?
Arrogant. For a long time. I think he, 95.
95.
85.
80. I was going to say, I think it was further than 95. 85. Wow. I know anytime we say 1985, it just sounds like so.
Ancient.
It doesn't it? I know. I hate to say that, Jeff Arrogant. Same with me. I tell people that, I started practicing in 1998. I don't even say that anymore. I just say, started practicing 20 years ago. It makes me feel not so last century, right?
Last century. That's right. That's the way to say it.
Oh gosh, right? Yeah. Age is a number.
Yes, a very kind number, hopefully.
Yeah, right? And just to add to that, as you know, and you look, Rajashree, because you look great, right? Little did I know when I started at 33, one of my reasons for starting was never maintaining youth, but I am so grateful now. That's exactly I'm happy about, maintaining youth and vitality.
Yeah, how about that, huh? That's something.
That's all about yoga, longevity. That's what we are right now working on, right?
Yep.
Prolong our longevity.
Hi, Jeannie and Sue, Betty, nice to see you, and Young, nice to see you too. We've got Michael and Matt in the house. And Jody, woohoo! Like your background there too.
Oh yes, the yoga studio.
Well,
great.
Jody's background, which is that Australia? Sydney?
Yeah, it's Sydney. It's the Sydney Opera House.
Oh,
gorgeous.
Nice.
Right? Gorgeous.
I used to have a Golden Gate Bridge. Finally, I got rid of that. Remember, I used to have a Golden Gate Bridge behind me always.
That's right. Yes, you did. I like where you're sitting now. Right now, you look really good.
Apartment in New York City. Yeah. I just finished teaching class and Bodhi NYC, and I cannot be as I'm so happy because I'm back in how many years after that International Yoga Day where it's all started in this New York City.
That's right.
The first year was the International Yoga Day when three of us we went to United Nations when they first declare, and that ceremony we attended. And we didn't do Times Square this year because it was yesterday because of International Yoga Day, kind of like the looping two together with the solstice and the International Yoga Day.
Oh, I see. Right.
We wanted to do International Yoga Day, so we did it. Yeah.
What year was that?
2015 was the first one, and this is 7 years.
Oh, it's new. Wow.
Yeah, and Jeff, the story behind, I always feel that 2012 when I did the first time with them on Times Square, and that was like almost 14,000 people was there and doing that. It was like I never seen and never taught classes like that way. Like mind over manage, like is one class is like honking, and the other side is like people are taking picture, and it's like crazy. Like I don't get to see anybody. I only get to see people on the camera, big TV screen on the Times Square, and they just teach. So I just taught. And it was so hot, and then also ambulance was ready if anybody were getting like heat shock, and they're taking them. It happened, and it was like it's a sign language teaching. I mean, amazing. And there was so many people, and that made it throughout the world, the news. The same year, I did it also in South America, in Santiago, was almost 5,000 people. So the North Pole and South Pole, both sides. And
Yes.
that was 2012. And then 2015, we go back. And then when our Prime Minister, Honorable Modi, did the International Yoga Day announcement 2015, when they signed that contract with all these countries, United Nations, and all came together to celebrate yoga as a holistic approach and productive. That's what they are. Best time now after COVID, now they really realize that yoga is really a part of alternative to healthcare, like when you can't do anything. I mean, you need proper medicine as well as you need this.
Yes. Yes, it's not one or the other, it's both.
Yeah, both, maintaining well-being. So it was amazing. And we went that day also, we were invited to go to United Nations, and we actually participated with everyone, with the ministry and United Nations, everyone inside. And it was very nice. And today I talked again after post-COVID, and now I'm back. And I'm so glad that today, when I saw many people there in the studio, because now we can open the studio in full capacity. But it just announced 2 days ago. So Zoom, I taught in class and in person, and was on Zoom together.
Right.
So that's very, very interesting, because there's a Zoom camera outside. They put it in the classroom that I was, they were hearing, listening to me and doing it. And I'm trying to go front up there and trying to meet them, correcting them. And the same time in person, I'm teaching. It was a lot of fun. But I enjoyed. Yeah. And we did meditation, and people stay back, we talk, and people, it was nice to reconnect.
Yeah.
Terrific.
If you can teach to 14,000 people in Times Square, Rajashree, you can do just about anything.
I just teach. I don't think I couldn't see it.
How many times were first timers? How many people were first timers? Did you do that? Who's the first time here?
Right. 13,900 people raised their hand.
May I just say I was at that class.
Yeah, Lauren was there. Lauren did.
Wow.
And which row you are at? Which row you are at? Were you at front 500, or you are 500 was a focus point? Then they went back and back and back. And what Donna and Jen did it very nicely. They had a demonstrator on each 500, each avenue, right? You had like a.
Yeah, we were all the way back, I must say, Rajashree, and people were practicing on boxes next to us. That's how people would just stop by, and they wanted to practice, and they were practicing on boxes. It was like nothing I've ever experienced before. So thank you for that.
Here is Donna. She will say hi to everyone. I'm here with her.
Hello. Donna, introduce yourself to everybody.
Let me too.
We're just finished class, and we're just eating right now.
Hi, I'm Donna. Nice to meet everybody.
Donna, how long have you owned Bodhi, you and Jennifer?
We opened in 1999, and we taught at summer solstice probably the last 15 years every year. This is the first year they didn't invite us to join this year, but I think it's just an unusual year, and I think it's just because they probably heard that we've done it enough. You know what I mean? They want to give somebody else a chance.
Yeah,
At least 15 years that we did that. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So, yeah,
you've been such a big part of spreading this yoga, Donna. I mean, I think myself and a lot of studio owners owe you a big thank you for really trailblazing. I remember the early days, right? I went to teacher training in 2001, and you came, and you were somebody that I looked up to. Jen was in my teacher training, right? She was my group 5. Jen is Donna Rubin's partner, and they own. How many schools do you have? How many studios do you have?
We had 4, and then we closed our Midtown studio a couple of years ago, right before COVID. And then And we rebranded, I guess, around 4 or 5 years ago now, right? We did the rebranding.
Right. That's right. That's right.
We've opened up 2 of the 3. So we reopened 2 of the 3. So we're just sort of going very slowly, very carefully. You know, we don't want to go crazy right away. And, you know, we're just sort of tiptoeing our way along to see how it's going to go. So.
Hey, I'm right there with you. We've done a tremendous amount of work on making sure that our students, feel safe and can trust what we're doing so that they can come back and just think about the yoga and not have a sense of worry. So it's better to go slow, right, too. So for us right now, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And if you're not fully vaccinated, then you are required to wear a mask. But there are certainly plenty of people that are still wearing masks right now, too, which is fine. All of it is fine, and just people coming back. I feel like this whole year is going to be just a continuous wave of people getting more and more comfortable, less fear, and then come back and do the yoga practice, which is why, you guys, International Day of Yoga has been already a big day for us to see more and more people coming back that we haven't seen in a long time. It's actually right in June 21st. It's in a perfect spot for people to come and try it again, right? Because we're offering it for free today too, and just to see how they feel about coming back and getting into a practice. So, which is why I thought, and we've already kicked this off, and there's no real formal way to this, Rajashree. I think every time you and I talk, I always feel like I come away with like these great nuggets of wisdom. We just have a really nice exchange. And being that it's International Day of Yoga, I thought it would just be great to talk a little bit about just your personal experience with how you've handled the pandemic and, what you did to help yourself through the pandemic, and maybe some insights as to how you see, was there some things about the pandemic that you feel we've learned and can take with us, right? Through as we move forward, right? That would be a good question to kick this off with. So, you know what? Are you going to mute everybody? Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. But you guys, if you have a question, put it in the chat. And always, you can raise your hand too, because I can see all of you. And if you want to ask Rajashree a question, I can have Matt unmute you, and then you can ask Rajashree. So maybe Rajashree, if you don't mind, let's start with that. How did you cope with the pandemic? Because I think a lot of us maybe are just seeing you. I've seen you, but maybe some people are just seeing you for the first time.
First, thank you, Michelle, and thank you everyone to join today. I know it's a very special day for all of us who loves yoga and who practice and who teaches. This is, I always say, it's my day, it's our day, it's all together. But the pandemic actually, I cannot say it's my day or your day, it's everyone's day, because yoga is a lifestyle. And this year, our Prime Minister says yoga for well-being. So it's kind of like being yourself means, and if you practice yoga, and it's a lifelong journey with your yoga. So yoga is a lifestyle, yoga is for life, yoga is for life, for well-being. We all kind of understand, because pandemic taught us that only yoga you can escape from or cope. If you practice yoga, you can cope up with anything if you feel, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, even nutritionally. But I'm one of you. I'm sure many of you have felt during this COVID a lot of crises that you have going through, like you had gone through or you will face. I think I had that year and a half experience when first COVID started, like I will tell, just like even a pre-COVID, when we didn't even know what is that going to happen. I still remember that I was flying back from Philadelphia and Kripalu, and I didn't get panic. I mean, I saw empty airport. I saw sick people in traveling in the plane. And I saw people writing and really scared. They keep writing that is anything happened, why we are getting, because one of the state got really first time hit by and closed, shut down. That was Massachusetts. And that was Lennox was hit, and Kripalu was like 500 people who were all together. And we were leaving from there, and we just, I still remember I did Philadelphia with Zev, and we had to change the flight to leave early, and I came back, and then next day I know there was strike, like no more flight will fly anymore. So, and I felt, wow, okay, I think it will go by and I can take some rest and I will enjoy being home with the kids, and I will sleep longer, eat, and do for my yoga. And that's all I thought. And first few months I did that. And then more and more was getting serious, and more information we were collecting and we were learning, which was totally unknown in the beginning. And then really it made me scared. It made me really scared because of worries, mental worries. It was not really all affecting my life, but mental worries that if it goes more, what could happen? And I think all of us, we were like that. Some of us, we were stuck alone. I was lucky enough to have my both kids together with me, but always was not nice, like when you are all crumble up and together, and I have to think about again, I have to make their food in the morning and the night. And I mean, when they're out is fun, but they were together and then they were afraid. My daughter is more afraid that I will, they are living with me because their friends are saying, don't live with your parents, but then where they are going, it's all kinds of conversation. Then somehow I did not work, and I know financially I'm going to get totally ruined because my situation was not the best. And I asked I have a gratitude that I had a roof above my head, and I was still bringing food, myself on the plate. So that's gratitude I will never forget. That first time I felt it, so many people are in that worries. At least I have that. Then time goes by, and I said I have to learn, what everyone is doing. And it was really Michele who made me do the fast breathing on my birthday and said, encouraged me and excited me. And because of the Michele, and last time I remember International Yoga Day, I was invited by Jaida Skadilov pharmaceutical company to give a speech about a non-alcoholic gut and liver problem. And so I first time realized that why they're talking about that. A lot of things I started reading. So I think many of us, we have gone through reading a lot of articles or books, and a lot of people got interested to connect with the passion, what they left it. I started doing my painting, I started reading books more and started researching, which is like something which is any other time we might not do it, but we did it. Then fly back another, and all of a sudden, then the whole Black Lives Matter came, and it's kind of made us so scared living in Los Angeles, because we just were not sure that we can go out or walk. I had my routine, my life was like get up in the morning, meditate, walk, come back, do a cooking video and post on the internet, Instagram. And then I remember still that I still doing that, but then all of a sudden I got bored with that. And then some people are saying that a lot of people are not able to eat in many other countries because they are not able to find a job, and they were trapped in a lot of news coming from India, a lot of news coming from Mexico, Brazil, because I was really into the television, believe me or not, following all what's going on. And some reason in my heart always I reach out to all the teachers. So I started calling and emailing everyone and started asking that if they, if any way we can help, what's going on. So one thing was good, my telephone bill rise really high and my internet time went completely bizarre. But that's only I can entertain myself, being with everybody. Then I hear my mom was sick and I was not able to go to India. I was not able to take that, like inside that kind of a drive that I can go or visit her or not, then I said, this is necessary. I need to go visit my mother. So I got the PPE outfit, and last November I went to India and visited my mom. And I saw in India everything, this lifestyle was very normal. When we know that it is not going to be normal, we knew second wave coming, we know things will be worse, and we knew, vaccine is coming. Our country was going through election and all this. I'm giving the overall. You asked me, so my life.
No, yeah.
So I went to India and I saw election coming there too, and I knew, this is going to be spread more. It's not going to be that. Even I remember a few places I visited, and I'm like a mask up, and a shield guard and wearing a glove in India, and they look at me. They said, "What's wrong with you? Do you still believe in God?" That's what they told me in India. I said, "I do believe in God. I pray every morning. They said, "God will take care. God will protect." And I knew, I was really that close to understand. And I didn't say, because their belief is their belief, and anyway, I came back and when I visited, I didn't go out. I was in the house because I was staying with my mom. I couldn't stay in a hotel because I didn't want it to go and come back. And so hotel wasn't even open. Where am I going to stay? So I stayed 2 different rooms, and we did that. Funny is that doing all this, but people, I am doing it, who visiting from, I'm like even getting into my mom's place, I have to kind of getting a permission that I'm coming from America. Can they let me in? Because they think it came from America, like you're blaming China, you're blaming America because you hear everything, what's going on in New York, California. So I was like, wow, it's India is like, okay, safe place, perfect, good, November. And I attended 2 funerals that time. So I will cry, so I'm allowing my, please pardon me if that happened. So I was with my teacher, Dr. Das, and in the funeral service of his 2 brothers, because in 3 months apart, 2 brothers passed away. One was not treated because they didn't have a COVID test that time. So they didn't do the COVID test. And he had fall and he had injuries, and he went to the hospital. He got infected, and he was young, 60s. He died. Second one got a heart attack, but they didn't do the COVID test. No hospital would take in Calcutta. He died right away. On the spot of the ambulance pulling him in and pulling out because hospital will refuse. I got very angry, and I started writing, to Indian, all the papers and the social media and everything, because this is wrong. This is not right. People doesn't understand that. So I knew the country is very much behind of all this, but the India is producing max of the medicine. Where is that? I mean, all over the world, they are suppliers, kind of. That's what we are getting, impression from here. And then I come back, December, we got election, we had country shut down again, we can't go anywhere. And my daughter goes to out of town, out of state, and come back with COVID.
Oh.
And so I had COVID at home, first time experience COVID myself. And it was like in the house, how hard that was for me, handling, and the same time protecting myself, and anyway, thank God that she could handle it without going to hospital, She went to hospital, but just a little bit of, we needed to give IV and stuff like that, but then she back, she was fine and she was healthy. Anyway, but January goes by, then February, March, still no vaccine in India, and we keep trying, and we all get vaccinated. I got vaccinated right away. That's why, because of my daughter got sick, and they just started introduced vaccine in this country, and I got it. So I just said, okay, perfect. But nothing open, no studio open, no place to go. And I visited few people. The people I visited give me realization Some people don't want to see me. My family member even didn't want to see me because that's the right thing to do. I understand. You know the people I visited? Amy Cleaves. Because she didn't mind I go there and visit her and be with her. She was cleaning her own apartment herself by herself. And she was living with her husband. And I remember that her husband had a knee surgery, got the vaccine, went to the knee surgery, came back, no help, fell down and went back. And then they were parted for 3 weeks.
Oh,
And Sachi and I and Anne, we 3 of us, we were going and helping them. And those 2 did more than I do because I wanted to still be protective about Amy because I live with my young kids and who had gone through the COVID and I only got vaccinated. So it's just the worry part, you know, it's just the worry part. Then my mom getting vaccine, which is another thing. So I have to go back India to help her. But when I plan to do all this, then I get a message that I call my teacher once a week and hear about his what he does. And he says, I'm on the internet and I'm helping people to get, go through the COVID because it's that crisis and everybody going through financial crisis. Every one of us, I believe that, all of us. If you are not having, reserve, you just can't. I don't know how things will happen.
yeah.
And it's really bad situation, and that's worries. That's took my sleep away, really. I don't know what else I can do that I can do this because I'm not very Zoom person. I learn everything. Yes, I did. I did continue my, weekly, once a week Zoom. That's kind of, I survived myself certain way. But anyway, I still feel gratitude about that. I did it, together.
Yeah.
Lucky kids were there. And I said, staying in the house, I have a roof above. But then in the April comes in, and I see a lot of losses. And they're coming on the television talking about, it didn't hit me. When it hits your own person, you lose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I heard that my teacher is not going to make it, he's into the ventilation and family wants me to say goodbye on the ventilation.
Wow. Yeah.
I could not handle that. I couldn't. The real COVID, what was COVID was going through. That was the first time hit me. Losing someone, you're personal.
Yeah.
It's really broke through me. I'm still going through that.
Sure.
Every morning I wake up and I do have episode, I don't know. It's just it's time. And he was not sick.
Wow.
He was not meant to be leaving me this time.
Wow.
And the last time I was with him in November, ate the last food for his family, 2 brothers' funeral. And when I had he was waiting. He always wait. When I go. He said, we'll have a meal together. It was more than after my father died. He was everything for me, my mentor, my teacher, my brother. My mom was so dependent because my mom lives alone. Anything she will call him. I just don't know. It's just the loss of COVID.
Sure.
I think when you lose your own person, you really know what is that. And I went there in India right away. I ran and attended. And I see the certain family. If you really see this, you will see so much loss. The November where I saw India and this when I saw India. She was ruined. Family after family, the people who are bringing the food to the families, they're washed out completely. Left the kids, young kids alone. I don't know. I mean, what is going to happen in the future? There is nobody there that who can look after them because they lost their both mother or father.
Yeah.
Even I have seen myself with that, my teacher's family, 3 men who is to earn money because that's the culture in India, and the wife stays with the family. And all the wives are widow now, and they're very early age, and 3 brother washed out in. And this is I am sharing with you the family I know. There is many families like that, and there is so many family member I know, and they got COVID. Some recovered, some still sick, and some of them we lost them. So COVID made us realize life is so precious.
Yeah.
When life is there, like, and who are very important to your life. And when we are here, we have so much differences and we fight over certain things in life. Think about this in life, that no one can bring this back anymore. I mean, why we waste time? This is
Right.
why waste time. Anytime, any family, any business, any organization, we have always argument. We know we don't like this person, we don't like that person. And when you lose them, and then you really start thinking about that, it's 1 second it took.
Gone.
It's a fraction.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of a second. We lost so many people in India. So many. And all like a different age group. It's not COVID hit only the older people, but no, all ages. So I think the spirituality and the consciousness and the awareness of humanity in the COVID will make people to have a big leap of understanding that when people before fight, or people before being angry with other person, or people making a judgment, making a choices, I think they will decide before this could, before making that. Because we fight, we always fight with
Right.
people. We always don't like person, we don't want to see them, and then all of a sudden you hear it and they're gone.
Right.
And even when you are here in this right now in the art, we are constantly doing something, and a lot of time things comes negative. A lot of time you think about person harming, bad. Those are not good.
Yeah.
Those are not good. I think this time COVID realized everybody that people got a time to being themselves, being alone. That's also like isolation. A lot of people got crazy, that pressure.
Yeah.
Meet people.
I feel like I'm hearing from you, Rajashree, and first of all, thank you so much for sharing your heart. Like, what you touched in me profoundly was, the shock of your teacher passing away, what happened in India. Those were shocking. And COVID really revealed that, all the things that we do, the technology we have, the businesses we run, the successes we have, came to a screeching halt. In fact, exploded to the point where all our vulnerabilities showed up.
Yes, 100%.
And like you said, for you, it really touched you with losing your teacher. So now you're in this raw place.
I am in my journey myself alone. I feel like my questions, you know, like you have a person you call and you talk and you feel good. I don't have a go-to person anymore. I mean, there are many people call me, but I also call people too. Everybody needs everybody. No one, I mean, I said other day, even in business, that nobody compete with anybody. We
Yeah.
all need each other. We all need to share each other, because, and I also myself never asked for help. I did not believe in that, but
Yeah.
I also see that you need to ask for help. And I am right now ask for a lot of help, because I feel I am in that point, because that's what you talk about, vulnerability, definitely.
Yeah.
Because really we are all vulnerable a certain way in our life right now.
Yeah.
COVID, I lost big amount of, you know, my soul in COVID. In the beginning, I never thought that. At the
Right.
Dr. Das, Dr. P.S. Das. Someone asked me, Jody asked me, who is your teacher? I said, Dr. P.S. Das.
Yeah.
And who was a Vishnu Ghosh's direct disciple, and who was running the yoga therapy in the Ghosh's college. And he came here also, taught many teachers training yoga therapy, and he has a book called Yoga Panacea. So, and then sad part, you know what I felt? I felt very powerless. First thing, his family looking up to me and saying, are you leaving?
Ugh.
And I felt like I have a responsibility. And also, I felt really sad that when all the students came, because funeral was very restricted, we couldn't go call everybody at the same time, but they wanted me to be there, so I stay as long as, but I cried so much I made even family people uncomfortable, so I left. And I remember that all the managers from all the places he used to write and sit, you know, he used to sit the people, see the people. He used to write the yoga therapy chart,
I
that
see.
superscription we call, and see the client. India they call patient anyway. So what happened that time to me, that so he said, all this life you spend the time in America, I think this is a time to give something to India, and especially when you don't have, you know, we are missing Dr. Das. And I said, I can't come every 3 months. That's not possible. I can be on the Zoom. He said, well, I don't think, you know, I mean, everyone has that internet, but not everyone is a fully know how to operate those things. You know, young
Right.
generation knows. He said, well, we should organize something that you I mean, I don't want to completely shut down all his centers, you know. I want that's to run and that's to operate properly. And so I felt my heart was torn between
Sure.
world. Like, do I stay back? What do I do? Do I come back? What do I do? You know, and my life even going through my own personal,
Right.
I haven't figured out my solid ground, you know. And on top of that, Dr. P.S. Das, yes, Jody, that's right. Prem Shundar Das, Dr. P.S. Das. And the same time, this is going on. And I mean, it's like, I just take one day at a time. If I did
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I always had Rajashree is the one who has a plan for 1 year, 6 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
I stop that. I wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, if I feel good that day, I listen to my, you know, meditative music and meditate. And if I cannot meditate, I know that day I'm distracted. And I have an episode of crying maybe that day. Believe me, I am like everyone, you know, I'm going through that. And then I said myself that I remember my teacher told me, and that Dr. Das told me, I used to call him Mezda. So Mezda told me, teachers always live in their students' life. They never live the students. Only thing is very important that you will find the answer. Don't ask me anymore. and teacher wants to see student does good. So that's what should be your focus.
And I see that with a smile on your face. Like this is like the first moment in many moments before that you've got that smile. I can feel like him saying that to you.
Yeah,
You know, Rajashree, it sounds like you're in this kind of in between space right now. And I don't want to pull an assumption here, but for all of us listening, I feel like that's such a good piece of advice to just allow ourselves right now, post pandemic, to be in this space of in between. Right? Because not to rush into anything, that we've all gone through this, this challenge, this vulnerability, this rawness, especially hearing it from you where it kind of pierced right into your heart and soul. And you're just taking it a day at a time, doing things to nurture yourself where it will lead you.
100%. I think no one should take any rush for making any decision to their life right now, not even personal life, not even personal practice. Because we had a full stop in our life for a year and a half. And that changed us, and that made us not only vulnerable and also wise at the same time. So whatever we have done, the past mistakes, or we have gone through, or that we have faced through, and you don't want to do that in life, in what's coming now. And the same time, even I always tell, even any places I'm going to teach, that practice, even people didn't have a practice. People didn't have regular practice, didn't have heat, didn't go to classes, didn't meet people. So you might be still inside all the trouble you have gone through a year and a half. You might have a lot of anger inside.
Yeah.
Believe me. I mean, like me, I do have a lot of sadness, but I don't force myself right now. So I always say people that I will teach 2 hours or 1 hour or 3 hours, and then I'm going to leave because I need my time to think about it, and get downtime. So I'm just going to tell you that myself, I am trying to again go back to, because I really looking after my health first 6 months so well, and then it slowly slowed down. And then again in the beginning I tried to do things, then again went down. So I feel like I don't know, I mean, I'm not feeling good or bad. I don't want to even think this moment. I just want to say one day at a time. I wake up, I want to give my day a chance, how I live that day. And that's what I am learning, myself. So don't rush.
Do you think that's a part of also the wisdom that you have from all the yoga you've done? I mean, if you guys think about it, and we all practice yoga, right? We sit in struggle in a posture. We sit in the discomfort, right? We're being asked to show up for the instruction, and not worry about or think about what the end result will be. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we've been in training to sort of handle.
Yeah, well, one thing I talk about right now very much, that my own experience of writing this, that's called feelings and emotions, because a lot of things are feelings and not all are emotions. Feelings are more conscious experience, what goes through. Emotions are very ape inside, it's dig in. The emotion has the trigger point. Emotions has a lot of much more deeper sense of unconscious or subconscious, holding stress or trauma or grieving, and that's where its effects and where is that. But the feelings are much more comes and goes. So sometimes we talk about many things comes out from feelings. So to control that feelings or overcome that feelings constantly coming, if that is coming to relationship within yourself or with others, we really need to think about that first, which is consciously affecting first. Then if we can correct that, then we can go deep into the emotions. And that's where our yoga practice helps us to bring up to the surface, and when that comes up to the surface, then we realize that yes, there is something with the emotions. That's what it's bothering. And that emotions I need to change. We are all human beings, have emotions. And we all ebbs those emotions down into our bottom, and we don't try to show. But sometimes this comes, like I remember that when I was young, when my father died, I still have that same emotions of sadness, but I express very different way, not the way I'm doing with my teacher. And my teacher was like, I'm crying constantly. And with my father, I had to make that moment so many decisions for my family. And I didn't have even a time. And he was sick. I took it a very different way. So all of us, we take things different way, And and that is the time at the same amount of loss. My father and the teacher, but there is a two different way I'm handling this emotion. That could be, you can tell me why is the difference? I don't know. It could be my growth of my life, no experience of my life. I was young, I could hold. That was also not good. Or it is my older in my life right now, and another 12 years later, that's why this is happening. I don't know. So we can judge. I don't want to think about that. I just wanted to go through this right now because it's a big loss for me. Both of person missing. That's all I can say. And at the same time, we have no business. That's another crisis right now.
Yeah.
But sometimes I still think I have to handle myself first. So I have to be strong.
Yeah.
That's the first thing is I will suggest everybody to look into yourself as a self-care. Because we are all physically, emotionally not in the right place right now. I mean, I know you maybe did yoga, maybe you did something for yourself, maybe you have a support system. We need support group, we need that. But, not everybody does have that, really. Everyone doesn't have it. I mean, I do have my children with me, but I'm also supporting them, and they are also have a problem. So we all have go through like this in life. So
There's something special about a yoga community. I mean, being open again to we've done a lot online, but physically being open and seeing people and having the energy of people in a room, doing something that we love, that we know individually is taking care of us. But you really do feel the human connection of belonging, right? That we're social beings, and
human
we
being,
actually, our mental state is so much better when the yoga community, just in and of itself, you have a belonging in it. Myself especially, I same here. When we closed down, this has been my family, so that belonging sense was missing.
well, that anybody, like for us, human being, I think the isolation can really destroy you for prolonged. You need human connection. You need human energy. You need somebody to talk to. You need that's why I said, we are the people that we feel like, okay, I will look weak if I show my vulnerability. I will look weak if I talk about my anything I'm going through, my emotional problem or my feelings. But this is why we do this, we don't even know ourselves. Why we do this, we don't even have any ideas ourselves. And but that's why we think, because the societal pressure, like to be a strong man. That's why that has to be that you don't show, you know. Like I was reading some article and they're talking about every culture is different. Western culture, being happy means socially involved with others, going and doing things, you know, enjoy life, you know, among others and get together and stuff. And you know, Asian country and others, being happy and peaceful means very conservative way, not very much, you know, like jumpy or dancey, you know, like that kind. You are very together, you know, that's our societal upbringing, you know. And but both has emotional problem, no one has touched there.
Yeah.
That's our societal upbringing. But sometimes we are really doing this. Is it really we are happy? You know, and that's what the yoga community, because like-minded people, we are all like-minded. And when you are doing this yoga, it's opening up. So, and I can see the world is changing now. That's why the world has changed now. World is become open for East and balance for West. See, open needed for East because that openness allowed the yoga to come and spread to the West. And the West has brought that kind of openness to India because needed to be sharing that, because they were like holding it to themselves.
Oh. Wow. I didn't look at it that way. So it's, you know, in India, then it comes over to the Western world where we just romanticize it and do all things with it. But yet, you know, yes, we expose it more, right? And then it goes back to India, right? Because it's become so popular.
Now they're sharing it. Now they're sharing.
And now they're sharing it.
Now they're sharing into the world.
You know, not to get off on a tangent, but isn't that fascinating when something so big as yoga, like nothing can really stop it from its truth, capital T, you know?
Well, this year highlighted for International Yoga Day was a prenatal yoga, and I was laughing myself because I did that at 1990 with my daughter when I got pregnant, and no one was going to support me that time. The pregnancy yoga is so horrible. That's what they were calling me that time. And now the big thing is all the film stars are doing pregnancy yoga, prenatal yoga. Everybody talking about prenatal. Baby needs to start practicing yoga from mother's womb. And mother's health will be better, and mother's mindset will be better, mother emotional health will be better, and then mother will raise the healthy baby, and because mother will be healthy state of mind and physical.
Gosh.
That's the whole concept they're bringing.
It makes me shake my head though, Rajashree, because it's like, of course you knew that, but it really hasn't been that long amount of time for that opinion to change, which is good news, right? You know, to know, I mean, again, that's the power of the yoga and somebody like you standing in it, no matter what, right? With the faith about it.
Did not really, well, I got stopped to do the pregnancy yoga even when I was doing my shoot, but I still did it, you know. So it's just the only one thing I think if you do something right, it is later on you get the result. That's all. I mean, we all have to look that way.
Let's hear that again, right? When you do something right, you just know that in its own time, it'll be revealed, right? Yeah, that's so true. Wow. Hang on one second. Matt, you've been looking at the chats? Mm-hmm. Have you been? Okay. Yeah. No question. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can I ask you a couple questions, Rajashree?
Yeah, we are already 3:00, so you do ask me a question now.
Yeah.
Donna is waiting for me.
No, this is exactly what I was hoping, right? Just this listening to you and getting this wisdom.
Tonight, I'm not staying in New York anymore. I did this. I came here yesterday. I spent with them yesterday because it was the summer solstice was in Times Square yesterday. We didn't do anything, but we were there, you know, we're present. And then today we did International Yoga Day. And I'm leaving tonight, going back to New Jersey. And
Oh,
yeah, and that's why.
what are you doing in New Jersey?
Another nice thing about COVID, that this is the real nice thing about COVID. That's I went back to my childhood and touched my childhood, something I loved. So if any one of you have done that, go back your childhood, close your eyes, go back your childhood, and think about something that you really like doing it and you miss doing it now, and start back again, because that's the child in your heart and child in your smile, and the life will be always the most precious one.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of poetry reading, I had that Kavita CD in English. I did it, and that was just like a project for many years of doing it. But this one is, I am doing Bengali, my language, my mother tongue. And I'm doing with some people, like a very, very famous people who does the musician. So I'm learning back again, really how to do it different way, because different way, the reason is I was staying away for a long time, and they have done a lot of research, and they have really progressed of how to do those things more properly. And I did it in my childhood, but now everything has a modernizations and different way. I mean, my voice is it's just like a music, how they do. So I learn, and the COVID, that's what I was doing on Zoom. I was taking lessons, and I learned back again, and it's going to be out there.
Oh, beautiful.
In my mother tongue, it's going to be mother tongue, but it's going to be one of the Grammy winner person is going to be the musician behind it and doing it. So doing with one big school here, Chandayatan, in the Times Square. They have a school, so I'm doing a part of that school. I'm a part
I
of
see.
students, looks like, and I'm going to be recording from tomorrow for next 4 days. That's what I'm doing.
Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. That is just incredibly sweet. That's so great. I was going to ask if there was one thing that you discovered during COVID that, you held on to, and I love how you put that
I had two things. One is the painting and the recitation. Painting is like always go back and forth, not happen to be that I could spend so much time. But this one, I can have this computer and I'm learning, Painting, I need a lot of things to come with me together. And that was not always
right.
timing needs and everything. But this one, anytime I did it, I felt good. You know when you do something
Yes.
you really understand that.
Yes.
So anytime I do, I read and speak that, and I feel like it, that's something.
Yeah.
Okay, ask me a question now, because
Yeah, but you're making me think, God, when I was a child, and I hope you guys are going back in your childhood that are listening to this. My parents got me a guitar, and I used to like music, and I was the lead singer in a band. I think it was my 5th, 6th grade. And I don't do any of that now, so I don't even do it in my closet or privately or whatever. But what I'm getting at is,
do you play that guitar still?
Do I what? Do I have the guitar still? I don't have the guitar. I have the image in my mind. It was yellow and brown. It was a cool looking guitar.
Why don't you borrow someone and touch it? And I want you to write to me after that couple of times you play, how you felt. All of you.
Oh dear, I should have never said anything. All of you guys are going to make me accountable, right? Yeah, no, I hear you. So go touch it. Yeah.
When I opened my first poetry book, that was my father's book, right? I went to India in November. That's the time I just decided that I'm going to start again. And I opened it. The pages were the color I can show you. Like you can't even understand anything because it's so old, because it's my family carries that book like a 3 generation. and it's in my hand, and I open that book to read because one of the famous poet, and I'm reading. So it's something very deep down. You feel when I smell that page, I feel my child.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
that connection is beautiful when you feel your childhood.
Yeah.
Done.
How great that COVID revealed that. And if you think about the year that we went through, it's kind of like a lot of the veils went down. You know, it's almost like, you know, everything was stripped away from us, that it's almost like, you know, that just go do it anyway. What does it matter? Like you have nothing to lose anymore. I mean, I hate to sound so harsh, like, you know, you lost it anyway. You know, you might as well go play with what's in your soul. Don't worry about.
That is exactly.
Yeah.
I know. That's,
yeah. Yeah. But you know, what a great, and I'm gonna expand on that because, you know, you guys too, it's so easy to have this stuff fade. I mean, I felt it too when I was going back, taking my yoga practice. You know, I mean, yeah, it was a harsh 15 months, but we also don't want to forget about what we lived through, right? And the good things that came from it. And just like you're saying, it's like, wait, if it, you know, it got some of the soot off your soul for you to kind of reveal more of that childhood in you, that glee, then we got to find a way to keep that, right? You know, and not gloss that over and go back into the world of texting and things we should be doing and on that treadmill of life, right?
I'm letting that go, Michele. I mean, I feel like that is something right now.
Yeah.
My holding that moment.
Yeah, I can tell. And I feel like you're holding it for all of us, Rajashree. So really, truly in this last hour and 5 minutes. I don't know if my questions are worthy at the moment after all of this deep conversation. Let's see. A little bit of a business one, but I, you know, just answer it in the way in which you always do, Rajashree. You know, we know that our world right now needs a tool to heal our bodies, our lungs, and our immune systems. And we also need a tool that heals our anger. I love that you said that, our divisiveness, resentments, you know, the loneliness, the isolation. And, you know, I feel like yoga is that. But how can we as practitioners and studio owners raise a consciousness and a motivation for, you know, others to act on a practice?
Well, practice yoga and meditation supposed to raise that vibration, you know, and suppress those anger, resentment, and everything. I won't say suppress. We'll manage that. It's all about all can manage when few days or few months or few years later, it will take time. You can't rush on this. It will take time.
Yeah.
Everything has their own time to heal, like wounds. This is a part of wounds, societal wounds. Each one of us, we are affected. Not a single one I can tell don't get affected. Every one of us.
Yeah.
And this is going to be history.
Yeah.
So every way, everyone they did, and someone more than other. If you have this big, you affected that much. If you are this little, you affected, but you affected because your world is this. Your world is not
Right.
like that. Everybody's world is that, whatever. So only way it is the time, and we have to wait. We have to let ourselves slowly, you know, get used to adjust this change, because this will be a big different world and adjustment needed to be. And who can make change within us besides the practice of yoga or practice of meditation? And the meditation and yoga practice, asanas, will make us stronger. So whenever that anger will come, or if we meditate, the breathing we practice, we know how to relax, and immediately we will be able to apply that as a theory. Or, you know, it's a relaxation mechanism, like yoga is all about art of relaxation, but more you need to practice. Like that's why we say always that teacher needs to practice, student needs to practice.
Yeah.
All we need to practice. More we practice, we will have that applied right away. We don't have to think how to manage it.
Right.
It will become automatically part of our daily lives. But yeah, we have to, you can pause, you can wait. We got to start practice now, because how I said it, like my life, even I was doing so well, then all of a sudden pause, again started. And, like one thing I realized that there is certain things you have to do it, and there is no pause on it. Yoga is something that you have to, it's not only practice, is the asanas is help you to be that, discipline, to maintain that. We call yoga anusasanam. Yoga has a discipline. The discipline is the sasana, that's the perimeter. They have the rules and the regulation. If you follow, then your mindset and physical needs also fulfill because of every day that discipline if you follow. But at the same time, you have to you just have to let this slowly get because if you try to fix it right now, or if you try to wait, it has to be the right time, then I'll practice yoga, then I'll do. Just like any new student comes, and I give you example, any new student comes and asks you, I'm not flexible, let me get flexible, then I start yoga. So you do yoga because you get flexible practicing yoga, So it is just like that. I don't get a balance. Can I get balance first? Can I get strong first? Then I come to do yoga. It doesn't work. It's yoga comes like that all together. So I just think yoga necessity in now is more than ever.
Yeah.
Practicing yoga, understanding, and you have to live in the mindset of yogic life.
Yeah.
Organic yogic lifestyle. And that is like, it's not only yoga, I'm doing it, and the same time, all these disciplines, the moral disciplines that I'm invading. And definitely there is residues on my spirit, in my mind, and definitely my physical body will get affected. So you got to create that as a well-being lifestyle and follow that lifestyle. So we need that discipline, and we need something called eating healthy, sleeping well. It's not how you can achieve those things, because that's important right now. COVID taught us that anxiety, we are up. All of us, we are still waking up with kind of a worries next day, what we are going to do, and we got certain lifestyle now. I mean, what I was hearing in New York City, no one wants to go back to work anymore. It's the same thing in California. They're comfortable with, that's another thing, they're comfortable with the supportive, and also look at this. People also,
I think people have been stressed out, not knowing it. Yeah.
But Michele, also people understand the necessity of the life. To live the life doesn't have to be so much.
Correct.
You don't need that much. You can live in $600 paycheck.
That's true. Right. It is. That is a good awakening, that you don't need the things you thought you need. You don't need. Yeah.
And you try to get those, and then you start getting more for yourself. You start fight. You start competing each other, and it's. So
it just, before you know it, all this stuff starts to happen, and you've lost your center, but what I heard from you too is you're saying too, is just getting in the yoga, doing the discipline of it. Then a lot of the other stuff's going to take care of itself. The anger,
and if you are a studio owner, if you are a teacher, don't push your students, because they have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
They are there. They came to practice. They want to feel good.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Just like you need them, they need you.
Yeah.
You need them because to run your business, you need them, and you are providing that service. So don't push it. Don't be too hard on them. Let them on their safe place, on the mat, on their place, feel make them feel good, like
Yeah.
many times we pushes them,
Right.
but they will leave because
Yeah.
they can, because as the way you feel, they feel the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very loving and compassionate words. Thank you for that. So there was a question, right, Matt? Do you want to say what the question is?
Yes, so Jody had a question which was, earlier you referred to meditation, and was there a particular kind of meditation technique that you practiced and found valuable?
Did you say that to them? Did you hear that, Rajashree?
No.
No?
Oh.
Pause. Man, pause.
Matt's going to
I'm
come over
gonna
and
come
say
over
hi.
here. Hi there. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. So the question was, Jody had a question which was, you mentioned earlier about meditation techniques, and was there a particular kind of meditation technique that you found valuable to practice?
COVID, I found myself anytime I needed to meditate, I close my eyes, I meditate. And many times I use some apps now, very nice. You can download some of the apps and you can listen to good music. And I did a lot of chanting during this time. I don't know, I just felt myself that somehow I'm following the word and following the rhythm of the music, and that's makes my mind not to worry or not to stress out. And I try to focus on the breathing. That's the breath is very simple, that close my eyes and take long deep inhale and try to exhale longer. So when I try to exhale longer, whatever anger, frustration, resentment, grief I had, I try to let it go. And that process, I followed myself as a, like a number, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's also could be your mantras or affirmations, whatever you do in your life, you can just do it. And many times I tried alternate nostril breathing. Honestly, after Dr. Das has passed away, I tried. That didn't work for me because I was totally lost in myself. So only thing helped me just like breathing deeply and crying. So for me, I will tell you, everybody, there is no particular things called right meditation or wrong meditation. Everything is right if that helping you in this situation. So only thing that try to make sure deep inhale, longer exhale, because that's the goal. That's really, because the whole sympathetic and parasympathetic, the nervous system activate that way, which is anything you do like that with longer, when you exhale, you just actually make that more balanced. It's that nervous system, and that's what we really needed. And sometimes I was not able to do, and I was doing a comfortable sitting and try to make myself maybe against the wall or something, taking the support. And sometimes I use a lot of apps. Believe me, they have so many things out there right now, beautiful music and the words, anything nice words, and you can follow their words and you can do it. Because I couldn't even go SRF anymore because they shut down.
Right.
Yeah, now they didn't started the service yet.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go and visit only the shrine, or you have to go through the wait listed to get in. So everything is like online.
Yeah.
But it will open up. It will
Yeah. That's helpful. Thank you. I have one last question. Is there anybody else that has a question? Nope. This has been so great, Rajashree. I just enjoy you as a person and a friend. What message would you like to send to practitioners that are coming back to a practice, and mostly to those that are still nervous about coming back?
This is I'm dealing with. That's why I'm visiting all these studios and I'm dealing everywhere. It's very, very difficult to answer as a teacher, because people are experts Many people are very expert. Like I don't give anybody guidance about what food they need to eat because everybody knows here so much available of the literature
Yeah.
and research. The same way, you need to feel very comfortable coming back. And there is no guarantee that you won't get COVID even if you are vaccinated. That's what they say. But if you are vaccinated, you have a less chance to deal with the COVID severity. So, and more, I see the people are taking their mask off in the studio. And I think you follow CDC's guidelines. I mean, you put me this question, and if you put this video on Zoom, the CDC is going to write to me first. I know that. You know? So I will say to follow the CDC's guidelines, and
We have.
they are really following the data and research, because whoever won't take the vaccine, if I say I took it and my whole family took it and I'm really waiting, I mean, I'm really afraid that India, my mom got a vaccine and the second one you will get it 84 days later. They won't give because they don't have supplies. That's wrong, you know? So I know how important that is. So, and some people are also reading article and literature, they're finding that's also not good. So I'm not arguing with anybody's belief system. You have to believe, because whatever you believe, if you do against it, then that is already causing a problem.
Right. Yeah.
So even your studio owner, even a teacher, you can't push people. You can encourage people, but let them come their own, you know? And that's why I said when they come, even they come with the fear, and you are putting the another fear and saying that, oh, you got to do this way, you got to do that. They get overloaded. Leave the people with the positive, inspiring words and let them be in their place to make that choices. I think that will be, as a studio owner and the students, for them, I will say, take it easy. Take it easy, you know, come regular, less is more sometimes, and use yoga as a tool for, you know, healthy living or balanced lifestyle and feeling good, you know, self-care mechanism. Don't try to push yourself because your body might not ready yet if you haven't been ready that much, or if you doing at home yoga is different than being in that room and being in the heat in front of with everybody. It's a different impact on your nervous system. So that's all I can say. And you know, it's like slow.
Yeah.
Don't pause, slow, but don't push anyone.
Yeah. Good words. As Matt and I sit here and we are open, our first week, right? More important people are coming back, and you know, and you can already see a light in them. And some of them, many of them have tears in their eyes because, you know, they're back again and have gone through so much, and for the first time feel their bodies, right? You know,
many people I have taught this last week, and I see more than young, you know, like they're in the generation of like 60s group, and they were like more coming back, like a retired, or they didn't know what to do, they were afraid, or you know, like all these things. In a lot of people are in furlough, and a lot of people are sitting at home and they're not sure, and yoga studio is a way for them first time going someplace to see,
it's true.
you know, how they feel comfortable. So I see that. I really, and I'm very lucky to see that when the studio owners are helping somehow adjusting with the financially bringing them back in. Like a lot of people are not ready that they can go back because they don't have money, or they ask God, you know, but they know, but they are helping. And that's all I'm looking for, really. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think about that, you guys, that maybe some people, you know, including some of you, yoga might be the very first place that they went to after so many months, right? I mean, let alone going grocery shopping, it could have been the first place. So it just shows you how important it is to show up and be here for them. Yeah. Oh, Rajashree, this has been so fantastic. I don't have anything else other than just, you know, the idea of this being such a significant day. And you alluded to it earlier, but we had an outdoor class today, and I read something that was before it was sanctioned as a holiday, International Day of Yoga from the UN back in September 2014, and it was an official holiday June 21st, 2015. So I'm always intrigued by those people that want to, have an idea that they're so passionate about and bring it where it's now grounded, and we're only in our 6th year, right? I mean, this is baby, right? Compared to 50 years, 75 years, what this day could mean. So maybe you can end on your thoughts on that, what that means to you, like to have, especially with your culture and having this brought up with this wisdom, what
I really it's a very interesting things you ask me this, but I will tell you about my feelings on that. Yoga, that's what I have done for all my life. I don't feel anything. I'm very happy that it's been acknowledged worldwide, but I'm glad that I'm celebrating in America sitting here. But excitement, if you ask me, I'm excited inside to be with people, but the significance of acknowledging the day, I think every one of us, we are equal human being, and we practice yoga, we teach yoga. As much you feel, I feel the same. Nothing more or nothing less. That makes, maybe you're not happy with my answer.
No, I want you to expand on that, because I think there's something.
I really tell you the reason is because I have seen how many generations before me, when it was not International Yoga Day, they gave life and tears for the students and people, for their life. Look at my teacher even. And even his teacher, the lineage after lineage. We didn't have International Yoga Day, but that yoga was for them. And you know how Dr. Das, if got COVID, how he got it. I mean, this is my diagnosis. This might not be the doctor's diagnosis.
Yeah.
He got bored. His family said, you can go. We lost 2 of the son in the family, 2 brothers, younger and older brother died. And he said, you can go. And he says, Rakhe kesto mare ki, mane, if God wants to save me, God will save me. Can you believe that? He also said it. Because his patient came from London.
I see.
And he wanted to see them. He wanted to go visit, and he went and visit to do the yoga therapy and writing the chart, because it's a big thing. And he's very popular in Calcutta, West Bengal. He's very big. And he went to see, and he came back. He had 1 shot of vaccine. He got COVID. See, this is like even prior, if you think about it, yoga was every day celebrated. Like yoga was always been, it's very special. It's definitely special. I mean, UN acknowledged, but to me, I'm happy that popularity has grown. I'm happy that yoga, my happiness is in COVID, yoga got more practice at home yoga. That I'm very happy. Bad to say that, I mean, I'm very much grateful for the government that they made yoga is an International Yoga Day, gave the acknowledgement. But I am very happy that yoga saved during COVID many people's sanity. Made that big thing for the mental strength, big for the families to practice together, being together with doing yoga and saving, that's what I'm more worried about. Happy about.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. I mean, how many of us, right, didn't think we'd have a home practice and now have a home practice and like it actually, and I've learned so much. I mean, I see you guys nodding your heads, right? Yeah. And it's funny because this goes back to sort of your point earlier. It seems kind of like a little ridiculous that we have to claim a day for International Day of Yoga, but sometimes, in our human psyche, we have to acknowledge or have some kind of a day in order for it to get exposed a little bit more, right? It becomes a little bit more like, oh, what is yoga, right? To maybe several millions that still don't know about it, So I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's,
this is really not to judge anything, that's
sure. Yeah.
what we gain or from this, definitely more acknowledgement, more acceptance, and more we can serve more people, we can service to people. But I feel COVID already did that so much. That's what I think, that compared with the International Yoga Day and COVID, if you see.
I see. I totally get what you're saying now. Well, Rajashree, why don't we sign off? Is there anything you'd like to sign off with?
I will say thank you. Thank you for joining me. Remember only one thing, that we all need each other. And if you are a studio owner, please help each other. Please, please, please. If you're a studio owner, help each other. And teachers, help each other to uplift. And teachers, help each other to share and spread the knowledge. And family members, for your family members, your students, be nice to them, encourage them, inspire them. Then how you feel, they're feeling the same. So if you can give them 1% smile to their face, I just said 1% one day, and you will see it will change you and it will change them. Thank you. Namaskar.